I know I said I'd be there the next day for the next video, but the truth is I ran out of space on my phone, so I couldn't make the video until now. Sorry about that. Is there something so good that you just play it every year? A Lord of the Rings that you read every year, or a movie that you just have to see every time you turn a certain season? Well, for me, it's Symphony of the Night and Tony Hawk. This particular version is the 1080p upscaled version for the PS4. Though to be honest with you, I've played it 3 times this year, because I got the Xbox 360 edition as well as the normal edition for the PS1. I also have it for PS3 and a couple other editions. I'm a fan of the entire Castlevania series. Though Symphony of the Night is my favorite, that doesn't mean I'm not a fan of the others. I really enjoy the atmosphere and the feel to it. Which has made me really wonder, how many games are like this? And more precisely, how many games are inspirations for it? Well, let's discuss it. Whatever the basic controls for that particular console is, that's the controls. Cinema is referenced directly in the video game, and everything has a feel as if it is kind of a movie, even in the 2D world. I don't think anyone doubts that there's references to old-school vampire movies and horror movies, though most people don't realize that it's probably a reference to the Hammer films, more so than the original 1930s and 40s editions. Also, I want to point out that the characters in it, the main character at least, isn't a horror movie type character. Instead, he's more James Bond or Conan the Barbarian. He's capable. He's just going against a lot. We also have to acknowledge that Capcom was doing a lot of the same things with Ghosts and Goblins and their many iterations. The truth be told, if you were to ever ask what was the real basis for these games, I'd have to reference Zelda 2, not Metroid. And I had to have a way of confirming that. The creator of Symphony of the Night and many of the games after it, Koji Igarashi, said that he used Zelda as more of a basis than the other games. And to be honest with you, Zelda 2 plays a lot like Symphony of the Night. You go around, you slowly build up, and you kind of have this feel that you started off as a child, much as Miyamoto referenced Zelda with, and then you slowly build up until you're a man. They tend to have kind of stiff controls, but absolutely amazing production values. The display is amazing and they use a lot of technical things to do stuff. They also have a lot of great music, which I feel really disappointed to not show you. The games tend to come in 3 original varieties. The first is a redo of the original Castlevania. Here it is for the Super NES. And here is a remaster of a remaster for the PlayStation 1. Castlevania 3 started up the idea of a 2D, fairly original Castlevania that has multiple ways to get through it, while Castlevania 2 has the reference for the greatest version of Castlevania, that of the multi-path, multi-story, village-inducing, RPG-like Metroidvania Castlevania. There's also a 3D version, but if I were being honest, I haven't played the games well enough to give an opinion or an idea of how they work. I've heard they're kind of God of War-like, but I'd have to do more research, honestly. I say all this because there's a new Castlevania-like game out, and I gotta ask, is it Castlevania? It definitely has the pedigree. The creator of the Bloodstained game is actually a lot of the old crew for Symphony of the Night. Koji Igarashi himself is directing it and in charge of it. He started it as a Kickstarter, hoping to get some funds and some help with the game. It actually went way over the top, $5 million put in. I personally wasn't able to put in that much, so I had to buy the game later. To be honest with you, the end graphics don't look like the game that was being promoted for the Kickstarter, and there is a slight amount of disappointment because these graphics simply looked amazing, and I really wanted to play that game. The production values are absolutely amazing, and it's just a graphical centerpiece that you really have to enjoy. Also, the music, which once again I can't show you, is amazing. Seriously, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 and Bloodstained, absolutely amazing soundtracks, and I can't show it to you. Kind of annoying. But still, the graphics themselves are amazing. So, it's got that. Also, it's very grindy, just like Symphony of the Night or Legend of Zelda. You have to kill characters over and over and over again to get what you want, to get the ultimate prize. There's also an ability to make more weapons and more items, and that really helps extend the game out. But it means a lot more grinding as well. But the grinding has a story. I mean, you start off as somebody who has difficulties beating bosses and just going through and having difficulties with even the easiest of characters. And just slowly you get a little bit better, and then you get a little bit better, and then you get a little bit better. And you kind of feel like you can do stuff, but just barely. Then near the end game, you're just killing everything left and right. You're so statted up that you don't even notice, and you're capable of doing things that you didn't even realize you could do. You're just one-hit killing and a murder weapon. They allow great little moments that make you feel that you've really progressed into the game. The truth be told, they don't hide that this is a very Castlevania-like game. They even kind of reference it as much as they can, kind of go through the books, steal everything they can, because they can. It's their old game. So they just make a lot of references to what it was beforehand. So is it Castlevania? Well, the answer is, yeah, it should be. This one should be obvious. It's made by a lot of the same people, it's making all of these references, and it's just kind of got the feel, because they know how to make a Castlevania. They can't say it's a Castlevania outright, because they don't own the IP to it. However, they are more than happy to make it as obvious as they can that, yeah, if they could, it would just be covered with Castlevania. It's sort of the castle that's haunted by horrible demons right next door to Castlevania. I actually have some other ideas on things that could in fact be Castlevanias, but I have to be slow about this just because my phone can't keep up with it. I can't do a day-by-day thing. So expect to see this throughout the Halloween period. I also want to make references and talk about all the things happening in video game culture right now, and in the outer world and how it applies within video games. So get ready for a lot of cool videos in the next few months. Bye for now.